You know, Emma, I find that I am so busy and I get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life that I can't even find time for myself. I mean, how do you find time for your husband?
I don't.
Oh, no.
I don't, you know, that's the fact of the matter. But I know how important it is, and so we've made a pact this year. We are going to get away, just the two of us, even if it's just for a weekend.
Well, good, because you know what they say, happy parents make happy babies.
Happy parents make maybe more babies.
Oh, watch yourself.
I think all of us would like to keep the romantic part of marriage alive. I mean, who doesn't want to have romance in the marriage, okay? I think the difficulty is that many times we don't know what our spouse considers to be romantic. So a husband will do something that he thinks would be romantic, but she doesn't. So communication is a big issue.
I've been married 5 years and I have two 20-month-old twin boys. And as far as keeping romance in the marriage, it's very challenging. I tell my wife I love her probably 2 to 5 times a day.
My husband does definitely tell me often that he loves me. We do find a challenge in the romance aspect because she does keep us busy. But yeah, he's very verbal about that.
A lot of what we mean when we say the word love is we're talking about the emotional need for love. I want to feel like you really love me, you really care about me, and then that's what romance is all about.
Jamie and I have known each other since college. We've been together a pretty long time, and he knows me very well, so he usually gets it right when it comes to romance. I think one of the most romantic things that he's ever done was to get London a sitter. So when I came home from work, it was just the two of us.
My wife is a very big fruit person, so instead of a bouquet of flowers, I gave her this bouquet of fruit that I carved myself into a flower arrangement.
There's a growing trend towards busy but sexless lives.
The factors that are killing romance amongst American couples that are most significant are their children. They allow their children to take over their households. They don't prioritize time with one another. They tend to prioritize time with their children. One of the things I recommend to couples that I work with often is a formula that I call the 6 by 36. Every 6 weeks, parents really need to take time away from the house. No cell phones, no contact, and it has to be for a minimum of 36 hours. And people will say, oh, I can't do that, or it's been years since my partner and I went away. That's inexcusable.
According to Newsweek, the ideas that we have about other couples' lives that we get from Sex and the City and Cosmo simply aren't the norm for many married couples in America today.
What's killing romance today, I think, is everyone is tired. That, you know, you're doing too much in the day and you just get tired, and romance is sort of something that gets put on the back burner. My husband and I in December decided to get a babysitter every weekend, one weekend night, and have a date night, just us with nobody else, so we can go out and sort of reconnect and have quiet time together, because our weekends are filled with us taking the kids all different places, and it's great and it's fun, but I feel like he and I don't get a lot of adult conversation till we take ourselves out of the house.
Teresa really enjoys going to a bed and breakfast. She kind of like the old style feeling and kind of really keep it romantic. And so we plan to get our bed and breakfast on the river and really just kind of enjoy each other and hopefully spark that we always had and make sure she can have a good time.
If you can afford it, going abroad is a wonderful thing to do to reinfuse romance and sexuality into your marriage. The Americans, unlike other people in the world, don't value sensuality. We value productivity. People around the world in many other places know that a huge part of enjoying life is simply indulging in the pleasures that are here.
I think typically when we think of romance, we think of sitting by the fire, taking a walk in the park, eating chocolates together or cherries. We have all these ideas of what's romantic. The fact is, taking the garbage out could be romantic for some spouses. There's 5 basic ways to express love emotionally: words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, physical touch, and acts of service. And you've got to discover your spouse's primary love language. That's what makes them feel loved. That's what they think is romantic. One husband said to me, Dr. Chapman, if I had known that vacuuming the floor was romantic for my wife, I would have vacuumed the floor 20 years ago.
As far as planning on keeping the romance in the relationship, nap time. Keep nap time alive.
The number one plan is definitely get London out the bed. If we can get London out the bed, I think the romance will be a little bit more successful.